Hi there, I am Megan Lambert, and this is the 10th video in the Feminine Rising series, and this one is on purpose. And I'm talking about on purpose, and purpose is one of those interesting words that I've been following in the corporate conversation for the last few years, and noticing more and more companies and organizations talking about it. And I link this also to the rise of the feminine. So if we think about the masculine, like the masculine is the production. It's the how things get done. The feminine is the why. The feminine is like the deeper yearnings of the soul. And then the masculine figures out how to make it happen inside of all of us, not just in men and women, but inside of all of us. And I think we have taken our patriarchy and the very male-dominated, masculine-dominated companies as far as it can go. Like, we have done the how. We have figured out how to optimize efficiency, synergies. Like, we have figured out how to optimize our production so that we have more than enough things in our world. We have enough, most of us do. Food, clothing, shelter. Oh, wow, there's a bird. And so we have a lot of how, but we don't necessarily have a lot of why. And I think for a lot of people at some point in their career, they hit a point and they're like, why am I doing this? And they have to grapple with that question, like, what is the deeper purpose behind this work? And I see that as a really important turning point where it's like we have done the masculine without the feminine until a breaking point, and then it's like we have to include some of the feminine, some of the why, some of the deeper yearnings of our soul into the work that we do. Otherwise, it just no longer fits. And I love this quote. It's from Frederick Laloux. It says, "Workplaces become the soulless battleground of our ego, inhospitable to the deepest yearnings of our soul." I think work without purpose feels that way. It feels like, okay, I clock in, I clock out, I get paid, I'm renting my time for a paycheck, but what is the point? And I think the feminine wants inherently to help, to be a contribution to the people around it, to our customers, to our suppliers, to society, to the earth, to the planet, to the animals. Like, how is the work that I'm doing helping people? How am I nurturing the people around me so that when I leave, I will have made a positive impact, a positive contribution? And I know that sometimes people scoff at millennials like, oh, they're so idealistic. They all want to make an impact. But I hear that as a signal that we're moving from a very masculine-dominated, I call it, there's like a me generation towards like more we generation. Like, we're in this together. And yeah, personally, I just remember feeling like I loved my work. I loved being a consultant. I had so much fun. I worked with amazing people, awesome clients. And at some point I was like, I just feel like I need to be closer to purpose. Like, I need to feel like I'm closer to helping people's lives be better. And yeah, and so then at that point I had to do a little soul searching, and I started meditating and doing yoga, and I learned how to be a life coach. And in the life coaching, I found like that deep connection of helping people's lives be better. And I was like, I just want to do more of that. So then I quit my job and became a life coach full time. And yeah, it was like that purpose inside me, that feminine was calling me in a particular direction that was like, how can I serve? How can my talents, my gifts be of service to the world? And not at the detriment of my masculine. My masculine also needs to be there to support and help me make money and help me sustain my living and help me figure out how to respond to these callings of my soul. But it's the two in union that are required. And I see such a rise in this feminine value. Like, if you think about B corporations or impact investing or socially good or social businesses, there's this huge rise, I think, in businesses saying it is not enough that we are just efficient, productive, and profitable. That there are other metrics that we need to be measuring ourselves by, which is, how are we contributing to society and the planet? And are we making a positive contribution? And not everyone, not everyone hears that particular call, but I think the ones that do are hearing it and responding, and I'm seeing it everywhere. And so I think it's so exciting. So the question I will leave you with today is, what is the deeper yearning of your soul? And then, do you have a sense of what your purpose is? One thing I like to say, purpose is where your talents, and skills meet the deep hunger of the world. And so you see something in some place where you can contribute in a unique and different way. And that I see as your purpose. So I'd love to hear, do you have a sense of a purpose? If you don't, where do you look? Or how do you start to get in touch with that yearning of your soul? All right.